See, I have written a lot of crime stories, but it's not that I only want to write crime. I do believe that I would like to write all kinds of genres. So yeah. So I'm in fact working on a comedy feature film, and I've also just written the dialogue for a feature film which is about a man who's trying to sort of set up a common man's airline. So yeah, so I would like to explore all kinds of genres. Crime does excite me a lot because I feel like every human being is possibly a criminal. It's just that we are able to control the urges some better than some people. Not necessarily. I don't think that I would like to, make a reductive view like that. I think anything that is engaging and well told sells. I would like to believe that, and I would like to function with that belief and write with that belief. See, because I come from an urban background, obviously if I am putting myself in a position where I'm talking about, a rural story or a story set in a rural setting, then obviously I would like to do a lot of research and I would like to understand exactly what the world is that I'm telling the story of. I wouldn't want to just take a simplistic, privileged take on that. So the difference would be then for me to understand that exact place that I'm setting the story in, or the world that I'm setting the story in. So that is the challenge, but that is a challenge that a writer would welcome. So it's not a good feeling. Obviously, rejection is never a good feeling. But I also understand the way and the reasons why sometimes things get rejected. So one has to understand the dynamics and the commercial realities of the industry that one is in. So of course sometimes I feel ki unfairly reject ho gaya, but I take it as a challenge, and I take it as a way to try and make it better so that सामने वाले को मौका ही ना मिले reject करने का. That's exactly. It's not, obviously, again, it's not a good feeling. While it has not happened to me personally, but I do sort of feel disappointed that sometimes without even giving the film a chance and watching the film, some people decide that the film needs to be boycotted or sort of trashed. That's very disappointing, because then you kind of feel like maybe it's agenda driven. You wonder, is it agenda driven? But yeah, once you've seen the film and you don't like it, and if it doesn't work for its own lack of sort of credibility or lack of good content or entertainment or engagement, then if the film doesn't work, then that's great. But if you have not given the film a chance because it may or may not be offensive, that's, I feel, a little unfair. I mean, it's basically the terms sometimes which the writers are sort of, especially writers who are starting out, their terms are sometimes, some people don't give out fair terms. So if the writer is aware of their rights, and if the writer is aware of how the industry functions and what are the rights that they should be getting, or what are the terms that they should not be negotiating or letting go of, if the writers are aware, if even the newer writers are aware, then we can kind of curb that exploitation, where sometimes writers don't get credit, sometimes they don't get money, sometimes people don't even know that they have written it. So this happens, it does happen sometimes now. It happens much lesser than maybe it used to, because a lot more writers are talking about it. The Screenwriters Association is constantly working to kind of make their writers aware that there are certain terms and conditions on which we should agree to write or not. So this is basically what sometimes happens, and we're all working towards making everybody who's in the business aware of what is right, including the production houses. Sometimes they do it not because they are nasty people, but because that has been the conventional way of doing things, and this is the kind of contract that we always sign. We've always done it. But if we have a dialogue with them and we engage with them saying that this is how it's fair and this is how it's not fair, we have found most people to be extremely receptive and reasonable about this conversation. So it's all, we just need to keep trying and make the ecosystem a better sort of ecosystem for writers in the industry. The thing is that I don't know if I have enough understanding of why certain kind of films are doing well and certain kind of films are not. I don't necessarily feel that it's only because they are a certain language or that they're doing well. I think if it's a well-told, engaging story, it, hopefully, unless it's, sort of boycotted or something else happens, like a third wave or fourth wave or 75th wave comes up, I feel like good stories should be given a chance, and it doesn't matter who has made them. While of course not taking away from the great work that is happening down south. I mean, they are doing some really good work, and which is why deservedly the whole of the country is enjoying and celebrating their work. So like I said, I've done the dialogue for the remake of of a Tamil film. So I've written the dialogue for that, which is being directed by Sudha Kongara, and yeah, hopefully that will come out soon. So see, there are several ways in which you can teach yourself. You can either teach yourself and read the books, watch the films and read screenplays, or you can do a course, or you can just come, and maybe assist someone or take up a writing project and learn on the job. So I think the only tip that I can give is just be sort of totally invested in learning the craft more and more every day. I think that's the only way to become a good writer.